Okay, so let's talk about conventions at hotels. Conventions at hotels happen all year round, and they can range from anime conventions, which I myself have attended a lot of, all the way to just regular professional conventions for doctors or athletes or churches, or just think of any group that has a common interest. There's probably a convention for it. Now, every single convention absolutely has its own reputation among the hotel staff. Anime conventions, for example, are known for being a bit more wild, a bit more rowdy. There's usually lots of partying and drinking and, of course, dressing up. And anyone who has been in the cosplay community for a while now undoubtedly knows about the Homestuck incident. If you don't know, Homestuck are these little gray characters, and there was a cosplayer who decided to dye her skin gray using Sharpie in the hotel's bathtub and ended up incurring a fee of, I believe, $700 by the hotel for damages. So yeah, like I said, crazy, rowdy, a bit eccentric is the reputation that a lot of anime conventions have. Now, of course, when I started working in hotels, I loved anime and fandom conventions because I liked seeing everyone dressed up, and I could relate to the people who were checking in and attending because I could tell them I also like to attend these kind of conventions. I definitely had coworkers who would give a bit of bombastic side eye at all of these people dressed up in their weird costumes, but I personally loved it. Now, a convention that pretty much all of us loved was the AKC, the American Kennel Club, when they would have a convention, because we would waive all of our pet fees because pretty much every room was gonna have a dog in it, and we would get to have all of these amazing dogs come and check in with us. And there was actually one lady, I remember this so well, who, when I was oohing and ahhing over her dog, she just handed it to me over the counter and said, "Here, you can hold him while you check me in." And so I got to hold this cute little dog while I checked them into the hotel, and I was just like, this is the best day ever! Of course, that convention was already popular among the staff because of the dogs, but also because pretty much everyone who came to check in were pretty cool, chill people. Like, there were just some, dog parents who were excited to come and bring their dogs to this convention and meet up with friends. And a lot of them have been coming to these meetups for so many years. So they all know each other, and it's just this big get together. But there was this one lady. This would actually happen at a lot of hotels. The convention organizers would pay for special custom key cards to be made for their attendees. So whenever we had people who were checking with that convention, we weren't to use the regular hotel keys. We were to use specifically the organizer's special keys that they had custom made. Now, for the AKC, they always had last year's champion dog as the picture on the key card, the best in show overall. I had this lady who came and checked in with me who, when I passed her the key card, her eyes got so wide and she started getting so mad because the dog that was featured on the key card was not the previous year's winner, but the year before. And she told me that her dog had won best in show the last year, so her dog was supposed to be on the key card, and she was starting to get really riled up and really mad, and I just had to throw up my hands and say, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, that's horrible. Like, I sympathize. You absolutely deserve to have your amazing dog on this key card, but we had nothing to do with it." I had to tell her, we don't make this decision. If you have a complaint, don't talk to me, don't talk to my managers, go talk to the AKC organizers, because they literally just send us the design and it's made into a key card. We have nothing to do with that, okay? Okay? Like, she was ticked. That was a little scary, but overall, attendees and all of their wonderful dogs were really, really sweet, and we all loved that convention. Now, I'm sure that you all probably now want to know who the worst attendees were, and disclaimer, I am not trying to push any beliefs or stir up any drama, but I hate to say that the group that we all hated the most was a church. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say anything here. These people were awful. I won't say what church it was, because again, I'm not trying to stir up any drama, but it was this one specific church that would come and check in with us, and everyone who attended that convention for that church were so rude. They were so mean and rude and cruel, and they would always, every single year, they would pay for their hotel stay with checks. Now, checks at hotels are really tricky and annoying things, or at the very least at my hotel it was a really tricky, annoying thing, because we would get the check and we'd have to call this internal bank and they would have to check that it was a valid check. And so we would have to type in like the check number and the routing number, and it would just take forever. And if your finger slipped and you hit the wrong button, then you had to start the whole process over again. And you would think that since these people came every single year to our hotel for this convention, they would know the deal. But no, they would always like stare at us and ask us what was taking so long, rush us, and be so stinking rude. Yeah, unfortunately, any time that we knew that this convention was coming around, we would all be like, oh, like we hated this specific convention. But of course, there were a bunch of other conventions that would happen. It was always funny to see different patterns where like the boating convention, which was different from the yacht convention, like the boating convention had really nice people, the yacht convention didn't. Or within the science community, the neuroscientists would actually be like some of the sweetest people on the earth, but then the, I don't know, chiropractors would be the rudest. I don't think that was actually true. I just can't remember the specifics. But that's the thing, like you would think because it's the same kind of field or subject, people would be about the same, but no, even like down to the nitty-gritty, the little details, you would have some people who are super nice or super awful. Of all things, and I know how the internet feels about Chick-fil-A, and trust me, I'm there with you, but I specifically remember that the Chick-fil-A people were some of the nicest people to ever attend our conventions. They were always so sweet, so warm. They would also hand out those free little redeemable cards for like a sandwich or fries. They handed those out like hotcakes, and it actually became a competition among the front desk to see who could get the most of those cards, and usually we would end up with a stack of them by the time the convention was over. M&M was also really good. They would always come over and they would check in with us and they would give us a couple packs of free M&Ms when we were checking in. Like the food ones were always loved when food conventions happen. So yeah, conventions are very interesting. If you ever have the opportunity to work at a convention hotel, I highly recommend it because you do get to meet a very interesting wide array of people across all industries, all hobbies, all interests. It's a really great, valuable experience to have in your hotel journey. That's where I'm gonna end this discussion. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Jessica Vanell. I have 7+ years of hotel experience. I have a degree in hospitality management, and I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. Stay safe, have a great day. Bye!